Good morning, or good morning, good evening. Sorry, I am trying to put the link up in multiple Discord chats. How are you doing, Cyrus? Oh, what the? Hello, Mitch. Can I ping content role in Merlin's Marketplace? Yeah, that'd be great. How you doing? How you doing? Thanks for joining. I'm just vibing. Hope y'all can vibe with us. Where else to? Maybe. I think that's enough channels to promote it. Turn music down there? Okay, no problem. How does this sound? Does this sound better? Yeah, I also appreciate any feedback about stream stuff. This is extremely basic. So, you good? Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm trying a different song from compared to yesterday night's song. I like yesterday's night's a little bit more because it's like chill piano music, but I like how like magically this one sounds. Whoa. Hi Lucas. Welcome, welcome. Yeah. I'm still trying to set up the stream, but let me know how the music sounds. Let me know how I sound. If I'm not too quiet, not too loud. Um, here's me moving the cameras. How's everyone doing? Did everyone go to their first PTM locals yet? I'm going to my first like official PTM local that's not like Rebel Fest tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. Okay. For those who are joining today that didn't join yesterday, I am working on a proxy card, fanmade proxy card like I usually do. This one's gonna be the Spectre Alice's Phantasmagoria proxy. Like it's a different template, but does your OC have a name? Yes, yes, his name is Campanella. If you actually look at if you squint at the fine text in my Power Cell token, his name is actually on the card. Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, so like all the proxy cards I made so far, they're all of my OCs. And they're all based off of like book characters. So Campanella is based off of like my favorite novel that I grew up reading a lot. Okay, so yeah, yesterday I did quite a lot actually. I did the line art, the line art. I did some color playing around. I did the base colors, and then I just started rendering at the very tail end. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna keep chipping away at this. Yeah, I'm trying to. After I finish this one, I want to make was it the Fractured Memories, the Merlin's proxy thing? I'm just vibing, working on. This is just a stream to get myself to actually work on art. So feel free to join in. Feel free to hop out anytime. I'm always down to chat, so feel free to like ask questions, ask random stuff. Oh my god, is that BSB, the raccoon? How you doing tonight? Hi, I'll be lurking here. I'm studying for finals and wanted to send you my support. Thank you, thank you. Good luck on your finals. Yeah. Studying for finals sounds rough. One last exam? Nice. You're almost there, and it's almost winter break. You got this. Oh, I was also asking this yesterday, but I've been trying to play Spectre Alice this season, and I would love to figure out how to make her work. So if anyone has any good Spectre Alice tech, let me know. I think I'm a little interested in the Chessman too. I know SB is very interested in the Chessman Alice archetype, so I'm looking forward to see what decks people bring up to like major events. I'm gonna be people eyes at the Fractal Insight website. So this step is before rendering. This is the rendering stage now. So how long, why does it take so much time? Because I paint over. It's like, I think rendering is easier to explain if you think about like traditional art. So you know how in like traditional art, you don't really have any layers. You just like think of it like when you're doing watercolors or like oil paint or like acrylic paints when you took like any art classes growing up. And like you just like draw on top of things like this, and then you keep rendering on top. Yeah, that's it. So like this one, so this is what you're seeing right now. This is the base colors, base shading, base line art. I don't really do like conventional line art. I just clean up my sketch, and because I'm too lazy to do line art, or I'm not confident doing clean line art, I just go ahead and draw right on top of it and clean things up as I go. So you can see like here, for example, there's like a little thing here. I actually forgot to draw Alice's bow here, so I'm just gonna render it in. So far, I drew on top of it like this. It makes things, the line art a little bit more crisper. It makes things look a little bit more finished, at least to me. Actually, I should pull up a reference on the side. Um, yeah, I'm definitely missing a bow here for Alice. Yeah, let me work on that. So like instead of like doing the sketch, I just block it out. Also, this part of the bow is going to probably get covered by like the Phantasmagoria UI thing that I'm going to slap on at the end, so I'm not too worried about how detailed this is going to look. Detail soak, yeah. Oh, hi, bird! The issue with Spectre Alice is that Umbra's card pool is so massive that there are so many different ways and no right way yet. Yeah, like Umbra is like the tied for first in terms of like champion variety because there's like Tristan, Ciel, Alice, and then versus like Terra, which has like a bajillion Sylvies and Kongming and Diachen. Yeah, there's so many cards. Like so many advanced element cards I want to play, but like I also don't want to brick. Like I think when I play advanced element decks, I try to like limit myself to like 14-ish advanced element cards, but I still break in my starting hand anyway. So that's I've been a fan of level 1, level 2 decks. Hi Zero. Zero the banana. Blue Chessman deck kind of funny. Yeah. Yeah, Blue Chessman looks really fun. Like I like Snow White. I like playing Snow White, not having Snow White played by someone else against me. Details never ending to time saying there are always something to add. Yep. You get it, you get it. Have you done physical art painting before? Yes, I actually started as a traditional artist until like 2020. So like back in like elementary school through like most of college, I was actually a traditional artist. I was primarily a watercolor artist and just like doodled in my sketchbook with pen. And then I only started what call it, like digital art in mid late college when I got a hand me down iPad. And at first I was like super lost in like how to draw digitally because like I wasn't used to like the whole like layer system and all that jazz. And then I got some friends recommending me Procreate because it's pretty similar to like a traditional art process in terms of like tactile feeling wise. And I like that. And then I've been trying to get myself into using Clip Studio Paint a little bit more. Yeah, so this is me trying to figure out Clip Studio Paint, I guess. Well, was that Alice from Grand Archive TCG, the anime TCG Western Game Design? Yeah, this is indeed Alice from Grand Archive TCG, the anime TCG Western Game Design. Crazy. Clearly solutions for Fortuna's Spirit Umbrellas. Yeah. Just send it. I've been playing Windry with Fortuitous Wind Spirit, was it? Like there was that one deck that did pretty well, so like I tried that one. It's really good when you can get the Arcane Elemental Disorienting Winds combo going, but it's so hard to pull off. But the Serotonin, when you pull it off, immaculate. Fortuitous is unironically a play, but the issue is also fire is dangerous. Fire is so dangerous. There's like so many like since like the game release, since I joined back when like DOA had its retail release, so we only had like the OG spirits, and I was like super like surprised when we got like the Mulligan spirits. Like spirits have come a long way. I have no idea how people can figure out which ones to choose when they brew decks. I was trying to brew a Norm Spirit of Purity deck once we got the deck list out or the card list out for PTM. I was trying to brew a Dawn of Ashes Geldis Allen deck because my general season routine is always start by trying to brew an Allen deck to see if it works, and it never does. Hyoka is my local scene. He reps me. Yeah. Virgo is some paganism. Yeah, it's just a skill issue. Easy. Even 2 owed me this Tuesday. Sheesh. And most of my matchups at locals are like 2-1s when I win, and 0-2s when I lose. Spirit Period Alan, yes. Invective Instruct and Miguel the Swing Parade. Yeah, yes, you got it. You got it. Yeah, I think my initial brew was Looking Glasses, Divine Relic, Spirit of Purity. The distortion cards you would play are Treasure Cat because it's an animal, so you can go in as Sylvie level 1 buff cat if you get her early. And then Dawn of Ashes, just one copy, so you can bring it out with Chamber Reflections. And then also one copy of Bad Tea Party, just to be a little bit funny and annoying. Alan Coping's all-time high. It's always an all-time high. You don't know how much I'm coping in RDO. It's like RDO is like my last stand, my resolute stand. Please, I beg you, weebs, please make Alan a thing. Any decks y'all are thinking of playing this season? I'm curious to see. Like, not just like PTM new decks, but like if there's like a deck that you just want to play in general this season. Like, I kind of want to try going back to Suzaku because like I played Suzaku during HBN season and the beginning of DTR, and it's one of my favorite decks to play. So Alan 1 or Alan 3, both. Porque no los dos. My thinking is we get an Alan 1 that's like okay. And then an Alan 3 that's like, I guess, arcane if we're trying to be like lore accurate, if he's just staying in like Cambria, you know? I played Fire Astra Ari. Fire Astra? Whoa. I went 3-0. Sheesh. But then goes by for round 1. That's still 3-0. We'll take those. Congrats. Sheesh. Fire Ari. Like, the only fire clerics I hear about is like the fire aggro Dao-chan. So that's really cool. Alan, CUR and RDO, I heard for real. Please, please. I will go broke. I'm already broke from spending so much money on PTM cases. I want more Melody Harmony cards with fire. Yeah. We need more Harmony Melody cards in general. Like, for real, for real. Like, I remember back in, Worlds this year, my friends and I, we ran into Sildar at the hotel lobby and we're like, and I think this is before DTR cards were really spoiled. And then we went up to him, we're like, can we please have a sliver of Harmony Melody cards, even like a single one? And he's like, smirks. And then we finally figured out later that we got that Griffin girl who gets a buff counter whenever you play Harmony Melody, and we're just like, standing man emoji. Did you end up getting a Barker Curio? No. I could not find any Barker Curios on sale. I'll find them one day. Like, I'm not in a huge rush to get them. Like, I kind of want a Barker Curio because, like, when I was, like, trying to brew Spectre Alice, I was thinking that Night Barker is a pretty good card that you could use for either Fire or Water Spectre Alice. It's just so versatile. Like for when I was testing out the Fire Spectre Alice, you can bring out Bill, you can bring out Night Barker, and then Bill's on enter. If you play him like vanilla, then you need to sacrifice a Spectre ally, so you can just sacrifice Night Barker, and then it comes back ephemeral. So it's pretty good. And like if you want to like do like top end like Jabberwocky, then you just need like to chuck in as many like Spectre ally cards in that deck. So just having Night Barker there is just like extra fuel for the boy, the big boy. So how many champion CUR lineages do you predict in RDO? A lot. I don't know. I haven't think of predictions. Let me think about some predictions. The Connie prediction, aka the Connie Cope for RDO. Brand new Allen lineage where his level 2 doesn't whiff as much because like level 2 cards these days are literally on enter, easy conditional, draw one card. Unless you're Tristan, you can easily draw 2 cards. I want Alan's thing to not whiff. I think Mordred will get a revamp too because we already know that he does lore-wise get access level 3 Luxem. So maybe in like not Alan, Mordra's level 2, the floating memory attack cards is just like so easily shut down by like sensors. So I feel like they would probably change that up a bit. Also, doesn't have on it to draw one, so they could add that maybe. Hello, welcome people. Hello, Peachy. What about the arcane side LGS? Yeah, I already have a few on the way. Don't ask me how many I got. I got enough already. I think I'll start looking for curios to buy trade in a couple of months. I'll let some people open some and let prices stabilize. Yeah, the prices for curios are like insane. Like was it the day one? Was it Phantasmagoria was going for like $1,000. I know some other curios were also going for like $1,000 too, and I'm just like I don't see that happening. I heard people talk about Geldis, Alan, Norm Spirits. These is my people. Yeah, welcome, welcome. You are my people. I always love Geldis. I always love Alan. Norm, I think, is an element that we can play in Grand Archive TCG. Dawn of Ashes would be so funny. Like, I really want Dawn of Ashes to work. But yeah, for new people dropping by, hello, hello. This is still me in the test streaming phase, so let me know if anything sounds off, like if the music is too quiet, too loud, if I'm too loud or too quiet, if the stream latency is really bad, etc., etc. We're just here to vibe. I'm just trying to get myself to like sit down at my desk and draw and work on stuff because I've been very bad at committing to making art after work. Because every time when I get back home from work, I just pass out immediately, and I feel like I could be doing so much more. So this is mainly my attempt to get myself to actually do stuff. Send me Suffocating Ash. Suffocating Ash is such a pretty card. A Curio of that would look absolutely stunning. Someone is selling Curio Plasma for $450. What does the plasma card do again? Which element is it? I'm still trying to remember names. Like, there's just so many cards I still haven't like checked out yet. Oh, she's wearing a dress up there. Oh, the master. Yeah, I'm making a proxy of that right now because I'm too broke to afford a Curio Phantasmagoria, so I'm just making one myself. Like I'm gonna make it with the same manufacturer that I made my Survival Possessions token with. But they have new foil treatments available, so I'm curious to try some of them out. None of them are like the Curio, they're not like the fractured foiling, but there's like a really cool type of metallic foiling that they are offering, so I kinda wanna give that a shot. It's your first attempt at content creation, so often no one wants to do it on channel. Kind of? Yeah, I had a lot of friends like suggest me for quite a while, like even before like the Creators Guild thing happened. They're like, you should just stream your art for GA on like YouTube or something. So it's been like in the works and like I've been thinking about it for a while, but then I've just been like too busy with day job and stuff. And I had a and then was it my good friend Shogu was very kind to invite me to join a PvE stream a few weeks back, maybe a month back now. Yeah, so I thought might as well give that a shot. She taught me the simple ropes of how to set up OBS, and I was like, might as well just go with the flow, give this a shot, you know. Yeah, also I got this VTuber model, not really streaming. I originally got it because I wanted to, because I've been following this model artist on Twitter for a while, and I saw them open up commissions, and I really wanted to see my OC move. So it's just more like I want to see my OC move, so I commissioned it and I got it, and I was like, I spent a lot of money on this. I want more people to see my meow meow move. Yeah. I also Black Friday came by recently, and one of my friends recommended I get you mic because my OG mic is just like the built-in mic in the laptop I use, so I sound like super hollow. So they're like, you should get a decent mic, and I was like, that's fair. Oh, Key Lime Pie, hello, good evening. How y'all doing? Curious on your take, why doesn't CL have a distortion ally in PTM? I know, I was really curious about that. I was like totally expecting him to get a distortion ally, just like how Diana got hers. And like even in the detail that distortion Umbra card, Reckoning's Way, there was a distortion CL in that one. And there's even like the one Umbra CL card that's in the PTM set that has like the two CLs. I'm surprised that they didn't make an ally. Like, do they have any Umbra allies that's like meant for CL and PTM? I don't think so. Yeah, I thought it'd be really cool if they had one that like interacts with like omens and stuff. But I guess they didn't. Wait, maybe it's saved for RDO because they're gonna support all the advanced elements. Maybe they're saving that as like a little, a little DLC flavor for CL. Maybe answer some unanswered questions in all the worlds, including Underland, even though we just finished it. I love that artist commission art. Okay, yeah, you always want to support your fellow artists. Like, back in COVID and stuff, like, before I got into GA, I didn't really spend a lot of money besides on, like, random stuff. And that was also, like, around the time when I started, like, getting, like, my first job and, like, getting, like, some disposable income. So I started splurging on, like, Skeb commissions and getting, like, art of my OCs. I'm asking, like, my favorite artists to draw my boyos. It's very nice to see your boyos and, like, your favorite artist's style. It's really cool. Even this model, too. Because, my OC here, Campanella, like, I originally made or designed him with the intention of making like an RPG horror game. Like I told myself like one day I'm gonna figure out how to make like RPG maker horror games, and I gotta make one based off my OCs, and it's gonna be like this really cute pixel style. That never happened. But seeing my boy Campanella here like pixel style makes me so happy. Doing good. That's good to hear. Just got back from locals. Ooh, Tiff got second place. Norm, God, Norm, right? Wait, can you tell Tiff to send me the list? I want to see the deets. Any good pulls if you bought any boxes? Yes, I bought like 2 cases. Don't ask me. I usually just pre-order one case so I can get like the place have like the commons and uncommons, and then just like fill in the rares and uh, throughout the season. But I don't know, I kind of just went ham with the set pre-order wise. But through my 2-ish cases, I got, thankfully I didn't whiff completely. I got a looking glass sight for Terrasite, which is one of the sites I really wanted the most. I was really excited for that. Looks gorgeous in person. I only got one curio foil out 2 cases, so I was a little bit bummed by that, but it was a ducal seal, the regalia, the exalted terrafring, I guess. Yeah, that was really nice. I did get CSR. I got the Jub bird. Budge CSR. That was really nice. I was also very lucky. Yeah, like this season pretty good. I got 2 UR foils. I got the Awakened Ombre, the CL Umbra foil, which looks pretty cool. But I was more happy with that I got the Palvor foil. Palvor sword. So I got the 2 CL UR foils. I did play a little bit of CL last season. Not too much, but a little bit. So maybe it's a sign that I go back. Oh, you're gonna head? Great. Thanks, Mitch, for coming by. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna try streaming a bit more whenever I have the chance. So feel free to join me anytime. Thank you. Nice hits, yeah. Unfortunate about the Curious but Sylvie side. Yeah. Did any of y'all get any good hits so far? Or even if you didn't hit any cards that you might have seen like pulled at your locals that looked really cool. Like I think the biggest highlight was during the opening night last Friday. Someone at my local who's never pulled a signed card in his life, he pulled his very first signed card. It was like a freaking LSCUR. It was insane. Like he was freaking out. We were all freaking out, and then he's like, "I can't believe I got my first signed card, but I still have yet to pull CSR." Uh, bro, bro. Yeah, like my goal in GA is to eventually pull. So like my first goal was to pull CSR, and I eventually did. And it took me until MRC to pull my first CSR. And then my next goal was to pull uh an event pack CSR, which I did for my first time last season. Actually, I don't know, I kind of popped off last season. I pulled 3 CSR from EVP. I got 2 March hairs, and then my locals, they got a package of the Dawn of Ashes EVP, and I ended up pulling a lunette, but I just like slammed it on the table and I started screaming, and I was like, I need to sleep that. Could have been Arthur. Could have been Arthur. Otherwise, my other thing was to pull a CSR from SP3, which I did for the first time at Worlds. Actually, I got the Gloomspire or Gloomspire, if you say, um, with Diana on it. I got that as my first supporter pack CSR, and then my next goal is to pull a Recollection CSR, and I haven't done that yet. So that's my next achievement, if you will. Power Warsaw funny and Nico infinite lash counters. Wait, does that work? Does it work like that? Like if you break out Power War Sword, wait, do you need to target your own graveyard, or if you target like your opponent's graveyard that has floating memory with Power War Sword and your Nico, does it work like that? Like, do you get lash counters when you do the Power on enter? Or do you like just like do you flicker? Do you play Wind Nico and do you flicker the Power Sword over and over again so you can get infinite lash counters? Is that what it is? You banish Power Board, you get lash counters. That's crazy. Wait, that's kind of funny. Like I would play deck like that. Maybe I should. I got the foil Power. I gotta flex it somehow. It says target player's graveyard assuming you're level 2. Really? That's insane. Wait. Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna try doing over the weekend. I like making funny decks, not good decks. I know that some of my locals they've been trying to make Polcock work after his level 1 got announced. I've seen people try to Calamity Cannon. I want to see him work too. The potential's so good. You do need the looking glass. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You need the looking glass plate. Distortion. And you can also like throw in a Cheshire Cat in the deck, and then Palvor is like what 2 durability, 2 power sword, I think. So Cheshire Cat can swing for like 3 vanilla just by having Palvor sword out, and then you can bring out inert sword too, and then she'll swing for like what 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's kind of good. This is my liquefy. That's the way. Yes, I can. Yeah, for those who don't know art too much, there's this lovely tool called Liquify. So let's say like I'm not a fan of the face line here. I kind of want to push it in so the hair takes up more space towards her face. So what I can do is I can just so I can do you know, just scrunch scrunch it up a bit, just gently. And bring go a little bit closer to her. Wow. Clipsio paint. You're kinda cooking here. I thought Procreate's Liquify was pretty good, but this one's pretty good too. The magic of digital art. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I can't go back to traditional anymore. It's just so useful. I shed a tear. Is everyone here ready for the weekend? Where that's being ready to go to locals, being ready to just wind down, chill for the weekend. It's like pretty chilly where I am. It's like it wasn't this cold a few weeks ago. Like before I went to San Akihabara, it was like kind of cold, and then I went to Japan and it was like warmer than I thought, which probably meant that the weather here back home is like colder. And then when I got back home and got off the airplane from Japan, I was like, it's freezing. I'm like, right? The place where I live is not known for being super cold, but like it was really cold. And it's like also cold tonight. Do you know if the symbol on Alice's forehead means anything? Yeah, I'm curious. So like back in DTR before we knew anything about PTM, I assumed like my prediction, which I was very wrong about, was that Umbra Alice, or which turned out to be just the design of the level 1 distortion Alice, was like evil Alice being like manipulated by like the evil floating crown above her head. But I don't think that's actually what it is. It's like I thought, because like if you look at the Profane Bindings and the Phantasmagoria, which was like some of the first Spectre Alice design arts that we got, like her floating crown thing, I was thinking that was something. It's not Devouring Malice, but like something like it, because like Spiral's kind of evil, right? And she has like an evil crown on her head. So I thought it was like a sign that like Alice gets like controlled, maybe by Merlin or something. And then like I thought like the little symbol, going back to the symbol on her forehead, it's like it looks like a crown, right? Like a floating crown. So I thought it was kind of like that. I think like now that we have PTM release, I think it's more like it is still a crown symbol, like symbolism, because she's still like the distorted queen. So I think it's just like extra thing to like ride home that she is a queen. But I would love to know if there's like more to it. I know like was it Tristan's eye scar? It's like there's more lore to it, but we don't have anything to go off of it just yet. Hindlands of the Sigma. Brother Stigmata. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, rendering takes forever to do, but if you do this, like if you switch between the render and non-render layers, you can kind of see there's like a decent amount of difference. Like the thing about me is like I think I said this yesterday too, like I don't really get super locked in on details because ultimately like if you think about it, when you post art on social media, people only look at it for a few seconds. So you just want to make the parts that you think matters more detailed, and then make other parts deliberately less clean or less refined. So the focus goes to the places that you want people to like lock in for the few seconds that they do stop at your post. So I want to put a lot of effort on like the face and maybe like any effects that makes it look cool. And then stuff like the skirt frills, like I also hate drawing frills. So like I just kind of like block it. So as long as they pass as frills, I am okay with that. Yeah, and then like sometimes when I draw, I get lost in the sauce. I'm just kind of like, am I doing too much rendering? Am I doing too less rendering? Like, am I doing enough? Am I over rendering something that I should just like stop working on? You know, what I do is like I zoom out because like because like ultimately for like this one, it's like I'm gonna print it as like a card, right? So I zoom out, check this. When I'm doing this, I'm not even looking at the frills. I'm just like looking at her face. And then if I'm looking at her face, and then like if I kind of see in my field of vision that there are in fact like ruffles on her dress, and if I can identify that, then I think it's good enough. It's a way to make drying not take an eternity to finish. That being said, I do want to refine these ruffles here. Have you messed around with CSP materials? Oh heck yeah. I've been using CSP materials has been like the love of my life. I love it so much. Like it saves so much time with backgrounds for me in particular. Like I've been trying to find is it the 3D resources for like backgrounds? So yeah, there's like the new so I'm working on the new water and fire spirit proxy, and the water one uses a lot of the 3D materials. And I think it turned out pretty cool. I like how the CSG materials, like all the materials are just like you get the commercial rights then to use. I think so. I can immediately use it on like stuff. Otherwise, like there's a brush I really like. The new layer. Uh, this one's pretty cool. It's not the one I was talking about, but it's a water brush, and it's just like, wow, that's water. So you can like have like, I could make this like an Alice Spirit of Water just by like putting like some water around her hands, like that. Wow, it's a spirit of water. Pretty cool. This one's pretty cool. It's like a spectery brush. But the one that I like the most is this one. It's like a flake one. It just helps like cover a lot of negative space with small details to make it look more like, I don't know, the vibes. Brings out the vibes. What else? This one I've been playing around with. This one I used in the Merlin Marketplace, the new version art. It's like a reflection of the sun. It's very colorful. I like it. Don't forget to sing. On my materials game, yeah. Like what I like to do is like if I want to procrastinate on whatever I'm doing, the first thing I do is like open up Clip Studio assets, and then I check the weekly and monthly rankings because they're kind of different. And even if they're like paid ones, you know how Clip Studio Paint they sometimes have the free Clippy campaign where you just do login bonuses for a month. You can actually get quite a lot. I personally opted for the $5 subscription since it's like only $5, and then now I have like an infinite amount of Clippy points that I actually need to use up before my subscription ends because then the Clippies also expire. So I've been saving those up and just like dumping them all on like really expensive like 3D assets. I think it's worth it if you have like a few dollars to spare. Oh, let me know if you hear my cat. She's yapping right now. Tenja, how you doing? Tenja. Tenja. Tenja, my baby girl. Hi, Tenja. A lot of attention. I've been seeing an influx of free for first week now stuff and feel FOMO. Oh my god, I feel that so much. There's this one specific Clip Studio assets guide that I like, and their like paid assets are like not cheap for the fact of it's like being like just like one or two brushes, but they also do the free for 1 week promo, and I try to keep like locking in on their account and making sure I can snipe their free period brushes. There's also I can send it to you later, but there's this Twitter account that I follow. I think it's a Korean account. They basically like share posts of like featured brushes or like popular brushes that they find, and then they also like to share brushes or assets that are like the temporary free. And I just check that account every now and then and just like look for those because it doesn't hurt to download it, or at least just like quote unquote buy it on the asset store when it's free, and then you can download it whenever you need it. It's a nice feature. Yeah, the one thing I need to figure out is like there is like a limit on how much you can save on the Clip Studio Cloud before you hit the limit. And I am starting to get kind of close to the free allocated amount for the cloud. So I'm like, do I just back up my old files and delete it off the cloud so I can open up more space? But like, where do I save those backed up files? Like I have because like I use a mix of like Google Drive, is it OneDrive, Dropbox, the one of the box ones. Box? I forgot. But I store like some of my files in different apps. I should try to get them all in one place, but I also don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. CSB also finally doing some help updates on how they store materials. Hope it's yeah. I saw the December update. Was it update preview for the patch there? It's so good. Clip Studio, this thing's so good. Like first, I was really hesitant in getting the iPad Clip Studio. That's why I was stuck with Procreate for such a long time, because like I like how Procreate's just like buy it once and you can get infinite updates. Whereas a Clip Studio for an iPad, there's no like single purchase method. You have to get the subscription. I kind of hated it. It wasn't like super expensive, but it was like a yearly commitment I had to like set aside funds for. But uh it's just so convenient. But I do still like using Procreate as like my base, just because of how convenient it is to draw on the iPad. But my biggest gripe with Procreate is the layer limit. I wish the layer limit wasn't as limiting as it is. Oh, my other gripe with Procreate is I hate the file management in Procreate. Could use so much improvement, because like we could finally make one folder level, but like you can't make like subfolders within folders. So like I usually group my stuff by the year, but like even then there's some years when I have like a bajillion backup files of certain layers. Kenchan, what are you doing, Kenchan? I already gave you dinner. You want more? You didn't finish it. I've been brainstorming on transitive finding CSV. Yeah, that's exactly how I use it too. Like I brainstorm stuff. Sometimes like on a slower work day, I bring my iPad to work and then I doodle during my lunch break. And then like whatever I like, I would start doing like the refined sketch and the base colors and base shading on Procreate, and then I would throw it into Clip Studio, like how I did with this Alice piece. Yeah, the other reason why I kind of started streaming was last year. Yeah, last year. Last year Black Friday, I gave myself the was it a new tablet? I got a display tablet for the laptop for the first time. Until then, I was using like one of those non-display drawing tablets where you don't see the screen that you're drawing on. But I was really bad at using them, and I also kept using hand-me-downs from my sibling. So I wanted to get like my own brand new one that has like a display on it because I really like how I draw on my iPad. But that being said, like I couldn't get myself to like figure out all the button layouts and like the fact that like my tablet, I can't use my fingers to zoom in and out. I have to like use the pen or use a shortcut key to do that, or like I can't, yeah, like not being able to pinch and zoom or like use my fingers to like easily move around the canvas. It took me a while to get used to it, but hopefully with this stream thing that I'm doing, I can convince myself to get used to it. I think I'm slowly getting used to it. But yeah, I definitely draw a lot slower on Clip Studio than I draw on iPad. I just like lock in. But I want to definitely get better at Clip Studio. I want to have Clip Studio become like my main one down the line. Huion XPPN Wacom. This is a Huion. It's a Huion 16 canvas with the K. I got it Black Friday last year for a decent deal. I thought about getting a Wacom. I was looking at Facebook Marketplace because Reddit told me that you can consider Facebook Marketplace because there's some like art students or like former art students that got a Wacom. Or like one that's like Cintiqs, like a used or refurbished Cintiq, but they only used it for like a few quarters or a few years and wanted to pass along to someone, and they have those around the same prices that you could use to get a new Huion tablet, which is a really good deal if you know how expensive Wacom tablets can be. So I thought about it. But then ultimately, when I saw a lot of the reviews of the Huion tablets and how good these like competitor models are, and for me, like I'm not like a professional artist, I'm just a hobby artist. I don't need like the nicest things. But knowing how Huion's already really, really nice, I was like, might as well give this a try. I know my sibling tried to get the XP pen, but it just didn't work for him. Like the corner to corner calibration was just like absolute dog water. So in my house, we don't really support XP pen, but I do know a lot of people who do use it and they like it. So all the power to them. I think we just might have just gotten like a defect one. But as a 1-year Huion user, I can vouch that Huion is pretty good. Is it better than a Wacom? I don't know. I used to use Wacom Bamboo and a hand-me-down Intuos tablet, which are amazing. Their pressures are great, but it doesn't have a display on it. I think Wacoms are always going to be better than all the other competitors out there. It's just they're the OGs. It's like Copic markers. It's like if you know what Copic markers are, they're like alcohol markers a lot of like traditional mangaka use to draw. Like traditional art. Like you've probably seen an artist like I think like the Death Note artist uses Copic markers. Bakuman artist uses it. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of traditional artists use it. But Copic markers are really, really expensive compared to like normal like pens. And then these days, there's been a lot of competitors that make alcohol markers that are similar to Copic, and they're kind of called like the Copic killers. One of them being Ohuhu, which I love to use. They're just so much cheaper, and like it's still really, really good. Like I use a lot of Ohuhu markers for my card alters that I used to do. I still do them now every now and then, but they're just so good and so cheap, so I don't need to worry too much about like destroying the pen. But at the same time, Copics are just where it's at in terms of the king of alcohol pens. Oh, Lord Generic, hello, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Copics feel so good to use, so I know. Copics are just so, like, I love the barrel shape, both the chows and the sketch markers. Like, they're a different shape, but they're both amazing to use. The color range, you can't beat it. Most importantly, their nibs, the brush nib is like chef's kiss. Like I really don't know how they can make that like any better. I think it's like that is as perfect as you can get. Such a good nib. I remember if you want to have a pro tip, um, back in high school, I had an assignment where if we write a business letter to a company, asking for something, and we actually mailed it out. So like someone went to um is it like Jansport, like the backpack? Like they hand wrote a letter to Jansport being like, I love your backpack, but like the most recent one that I bought has a broken zipper. Can I get a refund? And they like sent the Jansport replied, they actually sent them like a brand new backpack. And that was the sample that we got. And I was like, can I do this with Copics? So like, and I actually did buy one Copic marker at the time in high school, where it was a skin color one. And like I go through it really fast, but also the one that I bought was defect. The cap was really, really loose. So the one side of the brush got really dry super fast. And I was like, in my business letter, I had to like sound really mean. So I was like, oh man, I'm a huge fan, but I'm so disappointed of your like quality control. Your caps are too loose and now I can't use this marker anymore. I felt really bad, being like really scary tone. But like I was able to get not only a marker refund, but I got like extra caps and stuff. Oh, you're going out? Killing Pie has streaming, going on to try 10 game losing streak on Lee. Good luck, soldier. Good luck out there. But yeah, thank you so much for stopping by, Killing Pie. I really appreciate it. Manifesting at least a win for you. 1W at the very least. Don't worry, you got this. Savers ends up picking up a Wacom from eBay. One of those people stuck drawing on a upload. Also picked up Leon, but I also hate her old pen. Came broke. Replacement name was also broken. No. Yeah. Like yeah, I heard like some mixed reviews about like both Huion and XP pens, like older models. So that's why I was kind of like holding on to like, because I've been eyeing like Huion and XP pen for like years before I committed to this one last year. And yeah, I think waiting was the right choice. Because I know that like the pen that I have, I'm pretty sure it's not first gen. I think it's like a second or third gen Huion pen. I like it. Like I did change the nib though. Like the Huion tablet that I bought came with the default plastic nib that you see on like Wacoms and stuff. And then they also came with felt replacement nibs, so it's like a little bit fluffier. So that's the one I'm using right now. I like how like tactile it feels compared to like a plastic nib, where it feels a little bit more like scratchy. I know the tablets they kind of already come with like a protective film on it, but I don't know, I like the felt nib. It doesn't feel like you're damaging the screen as much. Drop by again sometime. Yeah, Killing Pie. You're always welcome back. Yes. Oh, tell Tibbs I said hi. Yes. If anyone was expecting me to finish this piece like Sonic Speed, the answer is absolutely no. I'm taking my sweet time on this. Like I draw a little bit slower this time because I'm chatting and reading comments as I'm drawing, but my actual like when I'm not doing streaming and drawing, I still draw this slow. Because I usually like watching like YouTube videos or watching anime in the background while drawing, and I get so distracted. But I think the streaming thing, I think it's more productive because I have the mindset that I can't stop drawing for too long because people are like they might be watching. Is my tablet textured glass or plastic with a protective layer? It is not textured. It is plasticky. It's smooth. It's very smooth. With a protective layer. But it's like it's not like how iPad or like iPhone screens is like super glassy. It's not like that. It's not matte either because I know for like iPads there's sometimes like a paper-like film protective thing that you can put on your iPad to make it feel like you're drawing more on paper. I used to use that one, but I didn't like it in the sense that like because it's textured, like you know like when you have like if you use like oversleeves, there's like this textured oversleeves that you can get in Japan for like character sleeves. The more textured they are, the more cloudy the art looks. That's the same thing when you put it on an iPad screen, so it looks a little bit more white cloudy. Is probably the best way to put it. So like the colors don't pop as much. So, like, it did make the drawing tactile experience very nice, but I didn't like how I couldn't figure out exactly what color was because then I would have to like export whatever I had partway through, bring it up on a laptop or my phone screen to see like how the colors actually show up. That's why I switched back to a glass screen for my iPad. But the Huion one is like not glossy, but it's like satiny. Yeah, but I like the sad one because there's no glare, which is really nice. It doesn't have like the tactile feeling. That's why I deliberately chose the felt tip nib for the Huion pen. So it gives me a little bit, but it's not that scratchy feeling like I'm using pencil. It's quite literally like you're feeling you're using like a felt tip pen. Also, the shoulder nibs, yes, yes. So like I used to use the OG Apple Pencil nibs on a paper-like texture, and I would go through a nib so fast that I had to like buy like a bunch of like those like bootlegs, like Apple Pencil nib replacements, and even because they were like the cheap ones, I also went through those like super fast. Like it would hit the metallic nib part so fast. What I use for my iPad nib right now is like a very different one. It actually looks like a fine tip. This is a metallic fine tip, and it's like it's really bad on the paper-like texture because it actually leaves a lot of lines. That's one of the other reasons why I switched to glossy screen because I really like the fine tip nib on the Apple Pencil with that, because you can really feel that precision. Yeah, there's also was it what I like to do is I also like to shop on Amazon Japan's website, not Amazon US, because sometimes Amazon Japan can ship stuff to the US, and one of those things is like pen accessories. And there's this one brand called Elecom. And Elecom makes a lot of really cool accessories for iPad for artists, and I really like those, and I always want to show those to my friends. Like there's they have these Apple Pencil pen grips that are shaped so it's flat on one side, so you can actually charge it on you know like the newer Apple Pencils, they do the magnetic charging. So the Elecom Apple Pencil grip things, they make it so like you can still keep the grip on while being able to charge it. And it's also not just like a simple small pencil grip, it's like a really girthy one. And like I have like a death grip sometimes on my pens. So it's like super nice to be able to just like Gorilla Grip your Apple Pencil and have something that's like your hand's not just like squeezing like a small thin piece of metal. Makes it the more ergonomic experience really nice. Do I have color to her eyes? Like I want to make Alice's like because this is Spectre Alice. I don't want to make her look too alive, but at the same time, I like color. Maybe I can add just a tinge. Only too pink leading. That's too crux flavored. Yeah, yeah, something like that. Oh, so Cyrus, when you draw, do you use is it only Wacom tablet they use, or do you also use like a tablet, like or like was like iPad tablets or phone when you draw? Easiest way to make her look like Umber Alice would be determined by highlights. Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I only made a little, like the smallest highlight right here. Maybe I can clean up what these are. Yeah, other thing about Clip I like is you can make straight lines so easily. Like, I know Procreate can make straight lines easily too, but it's different. Start drafting on iDraft and on the eBay Wacom. Okay, yeah, same hat. One day, I kind of want to like do a stream using like my iPad since I like doing initial sketches on the iPad. Because like there's some Procreate features that I just still like over CSP, like the auto shape curving tool. The bucket I like too. I like the bucket feature on Procreate. It took me a while to get used to it, but I think it's really neat. Yeah, the only thing is like so like streaming on my iPad is a little bit risky because I don't want to accidentally open like my Photos app because it has like too much personal stuff on there. Oh, thank you for coming, Lord Generic. I really appreciate you dropping by. Yeah, thank you, thank you. You're always welcome back. Have a good night. Yeah, the green layer is obviously. Maybe I should just look up why CSP imports. Why does Clip have green layer when importing from Procreate? Quick mask layer. There's a wonky thing with switching between programs and saving through PSD files. Most, if not all the time, it doesn't cause actual issues. I used to switch between things like CSP, and Photoshop when working on stuff, and the layer blending modes would look very different. In this case, it just creates a quick mask layer. Not sure why though. Imagine if you had to do other programs running differently, like kind of like when you open up a docx file when you export from Apple Pages in Microsoft Word. It's a selection layer. Interesting. Have you tried CSP mesh transfer? Not yet. I'm trying to figure out how that works, but I saw like some videos of people trying it out and it looks crazy. Is the mesh transform same as that puppet thing that CSP recently launched? Like CSP launches some crazy stuff. There's like one other feature that they released like quite a while ago that's like really cool. That's like the auto lighting. Do they have shading assist that one? I wonder if it works. Shading assist. Hopefully this doesn't crash. So do this. And then, whoa. And like this circle supposed to be like the light source. It doesn't quite work for this piece. You can see on her face. Ooh, this looks cool. Like, I know this is probably not the intentional use of it, but oh, this one's cool. I like this one. I think it's an older feature than the puppet thing. Mm. Yeah, there's so many features on Clip that have yet to explore. Like, oh, the one that I started using for the first time was lens blur. It's because until recently I've just used Gaussian blur because I know what Gaussian blur does, but I was playing around with the lens blur and it looks so much better than Gaussian blur in my opinion. It does basically the same thing, but it looks so nice. The other thing I really like about Clip is I don't know what you call this one layer property. So like, let me zoom out a bit. So I have like this watermark layer, right? And then if I want to add like a border around it, then I can click on this, go to layer property, click on border effect. Actually, it doesn't work. Normal. There you go. And I can add like a border like this. So like when I make like my card proxy tokens, like I do the white text, but I wanted to have like the black outline. Then I make like the white text, and then I use this feature to add the black outline around the text. Pretty cool. Yeah, one thing I want to try streaming wise is like I like how productive it makes me with work. So I was like, maybe I could use this to just make myself more productive in practicing GA. Like I'm not the best player out there, even though I've been playing the game for a while. Get some reps in. I need to find people to play it with. Maybe I can ask some friends. Oh yeah, that was cheat way of doing hair. Fill with hard brushes, border effects, liner. Yeah. Like yeah. Let me try it right now. With a new layer. So let's say I want to make some like wispy things, right? So I just like draw some like random stuff like this. And then I can do the, where is it? Border effect. Click on here. Wow. Line art. That's insane. I really like. That's really cool. So fast. CSP makes things so streamlined. It takes. I don't like CSP in the beginning because like there's like I don't know. What do you call it? Too much compared to like Procreate. Overwhelmed. There's another word I'm trying to figure out, but stimulation. Too much stimulation. But once you get used to it, it's like, and once you know which tools you want to use, Clip Studio is so good. Additional bonus is that it is easy to block out hair instead of doing it with line art. Yeah. There's like some artists that I saw like speed paints for, and like they just block everything, and then they use that feature to like use the line art block, and then they render on top of that. And I'm like, that's so big brain. I'm trying to see if it's worth adding some warm color. Because everything looks a little bit too monochrome for my liking. So just like a little subtle orange tint here and there. Adds a little bit more variety and it's like some artists I like focus on like accuracy and realism, but for me I like the ones that like don't like follow the traditional shading things. Like for me, like I don't make it so that it looks realistic, like the light source is too realistic. I kind of do it vibes. Yeah, this is another shading technique I've been doing a lot. So like I do this, choose a color nearby, and then carve out the line art, or I guess in this case shading. And I kind of just like mixing colors on the spot and then just like using the eyedrop and just choosing nearby colors so it blends in a little bit better. Yeah, I'm using the deep blue brush that is like tried and true. So good. I think that the initial goal when this person created this brush was to try replicating the watercolor brush on Paint Tool Sai, which I think is the most superior brush of all mankind, but I don't use I don't use Sai. I used to use it like once in like middle school, but it's like limited to Windows, and at the time I was a Mac user. Now I'm trying to switch back to Windows. Also, yes, I doesn't have all the material resources as Clip Studio Paint, but solid program. I know, I think Choco uses it. Some amazing art all seem to have this shadow border style effect, but I never understood if a stylistic really represents something. I know it is representative of something. Um, like, let me see if I can do anything here. Like, okay, let me do her forehead here. It's you see it most often in lighting on the skin. So it just adds it's like the way how light reflects, especially in like photography. So if there's like too dark. And then just because it's like skin doesn't mean there's no blue, it add a little bit of blue. I don't think I'm doing it super accurately. Just blend it out a bit. Okay, I didn't pull it off as well as I thought, but it is a thing. And I saw the reference photo on like Twitter and Pinterest, and I just kind of like memorized it roughly what it was, and then just tried to replicate it my way. And then that just helps me make my own style, I guess. It also has more detail to places that you want to add more detail. So I like to do it on the hair. So like this. So I'm gonna do it right here on her chunk of hair here. And just add a little bit of detail. It's really not much. But just adding a little bit of different contrast colors. So like the contrast of like yellow here, if you look at the color wheel, it's yellow, and then the other side is like blue, so it adds contrast. It makes things look a little bit more interesting. And that's what I like to do with this orangey color on the purple on her outfit. Just adds a little bit more variety to things. I used to do this like when I did watercolor too. So I would have like blue and then yellow on the same thing. I also used color pencils back in the day, and what I like to do at the end of my drawing is I would always take a pastel yellow color pencil and just go over the entire drawing with it. And it adds this nice yellowish hue to some of the lighter color areas, and it helps add some contrast because I use like cool colors all the time. Like you see Campanella here, he's all blue. I love the color blue. I love the color purple. So it adds a little bit more depth and excitement to the art. Yeah, for the Spectrals, it's like I don't know how much of this warm color I want to add because I know like she's supposed to be like gloomy. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like add like a super dark multiply layer on top. So like, uh, how do I do this? So for example, I made a new layer just now. Where's the lasso tool? That's the one. There you go. And then yeah, just darken it up a lot like that, and then get this, and then just like make certain parts that I want to like highlight a little bit lighter, so the view focus goes on there. Something like that. So if I do that, then it will still look pretty gloomy, so this orange part here doesn't look that jarring. Yeah, also, whenever I draw, like 90% of the stuff I draw, I don't really have a plan. There's a lot of art that I actually like finish like 70%, and I actually never finish and never post. That's why I post so infrequently. If I'm on a good streak, I'll post a lot back to back. On the more normal day, I scrap a lot of stuff. There's like another Alice piece that I'm basically done with. That I drew like entirely on the iPad. I was trying like something a little bit more experimental, and I don't know. I feel like it should be ready to post, but like I always tell myself maybe I could add something else, but I couldn't figure out what to add. So just sitting there on my iPad ready to be uploaded. It'll go on Twitter one day. Was there literally a Twitter trend using overlay to add an orange hue to the entire piece? Yeah. Basically that. Oh, the one thing I like to do, it's a little bit early for me to do this, but so once I'm done rendering, let's say I'm done rendering this part, right? So what I like to do is I would like to duplicate it, merge it, so it's like one layer. And then what I like to do is make another layer on top of it. And then have it clip mask. So it's similar to like that multiply layer I just did. Lasso fillet. With this like purplish, something purplish or bluish, like indigo, something like this color. And then kind of make it less opaque so you can kind of see the original drawing. And then I'll go in with an airbrush. This one I also learned from Deep Blizzard too. It's like my ride or die. And then I would get like a dark orangey reddish color. And then I would kind of focus on the parts that I want to highlight. And then also use some blues and greens on the edges. It can be super rough, by the way. And then do darker colors for parts that you want to accentuate less. Maybe I can get some green on her under hair here. And then after that, I would do like a slightly brighter orangey color. And then do that, and then start doing like a pinkish color. And just like blend it out a bit. And then eventually go to like a really bright yellow, almost like a whitish color, like this. And then the magic happens here. So you switch from normal to overlay, and then you play around with it. Whoops. Adds nice cool depth to it. And of course you can play around with the colors here. But yeah, it's really subtle, but it just adds so much more depth to it. Like especially look at her hand from this is before and this is after. You can see there's a little glowy effect around her hand. Lax hard light method I'll share it on YouTube. Yeah. It's similar to that. Yeah. So it's like a super easy thing they can do. What I also used to do, I do sometimes still, is once I finish this layer, I go to filter and I would do the noise. So it's like this grainy texture. And if you do that, then it's really subtle, but it just adds a little bit more depth to the piece. And I really like it. And maybe if I zoom in more, I'm not sure how much it shows on stream, but like check her face. It's not as obvious on her face, but oh, it is, yeah. It's funny that OBS doesn't recognize the drop-down menus to dialog boxes you open. Oh, really? It doesn't? Didn't know that. I just clicked blank space and magic happened. Yeah, I'm just that skilled. I'm just that talented. Oh yeah, there's that new brush I want to use. Let me pull up a bit. It's called the detail brush. So it's like this. You've probably seen it in wall art. So it's called the Japanese translation is literally called like the brush that adds more information. And it kind of does what it says. So you like do this, add that, and it looks like you put more effort into it. So that really helps with hair in particular. So I can just do this and adds strands of hair. Sheesh. That looks so good. Wait, this brush is kind of goated. Yeah, I know I need to add more details to this bow. It's missing the diamond shape. I'll do that eventually. Right, this brush is so good. Bro, this brush is good. What's the ID? How do I pull up the ID? Here, let me just copy it and then paste it in chat. Yeah, you can maybe hopefully you can copy and paste that name onto a clip. I remember this one was a free brush. I know Procreate, you know how Procreate also had that big update not super recently, but kind of recently, and they added like a whole new brush selection and stuff. I know one of them is very similar to this brush, and a lot of people on our Twitter they were really excited to see this similar brush being featured on Procreate. Bro, I can use this brush for days. It's crazy. Come on, like metal, yeah, yeah. Use it for blush lines. Maybe out there. Grab it. Because, like, ultimately, you're gonna just see this from a distance, and it just looks like there's more stuff there. Yeah, like my sibling, he's also like, he does a lot of art stuff for a living. And I asked him for advice on how to draw faster. And his thing was that if you want to save time on rendering, especially because you can just like spend an eternity rendering, is you zoom out and you tell yourself to not zoom in anything beyond this. because that's what you're gonna see. So for me, just stick here. Don't be tempted to zoom in. I should have one colors. The Crocs color. Crocs color? No. Luxem color. That's Nia. Yeah, yesterday I realized like I actually didn't save for like an hour. That would have been really scary. Right? Because like Procreate doesn't like has like autosave, so there's no like automatic save button besides like leaving the canvas and then it autosaves then. But yeah, clip I keep recording. That's cute. Oh wait, I should do the color profile. I'm not sure if y'all see this window, but right now it's on RGB mode, and that's good if you're just posting digitally. But this token I'm making, it's gonna be for is it printed into a physical card? So in that case, I need to change it to CYMK mode. So CYMK. And then I can do tonal correction a bit. Yeah, we see nothing. Okay, okay. Yeah, so I just changed it. So it's CYMK mode. So for me, like the colors look a little bit muted now, and it's because RGB is a lot more vibrant on displays, like LCD displays. But then on paper ink, when printed, it can't be as vibrant. So a lot of times when you work with manufacturers, they tell you to submit stuff in CYMK color profile format, and that's what it is. So I need to remind myself. And then I go like, I look at this now and I'm like, the color kind of looks gray. You know, what I do on in this case is, well, first I save. I duplicate the layer. Merge selected layers. Lower the opacity a bit, change the color. Go to edit, tonal correction, gradient map. Hopefully the previews show up. Oh wait, this blue's kind of good. And plant various gradient episode. That was cute. This is kind of cute too. Yeah, I like this one. And then what I can do is add the tonal correction again because the hue, saturation, luminosity. Yeah, up on this. Ew. It doesn't always have to be color too. It can be like overlay. Darker color. Does that make a difference? Kind of. And also just change this. Duplicate. Merge selected layers. Edit. Toner. Bring this contrast maybe? Probably just is kind of weird. Looks good. Tonal. Ooh. Playing around with the hue, saturation, luminosity right now. I don't think the pop-up shows up. Okay, that looks a little bit more vibrant. Yeah, I like that more. Progress is so subtle. But this is how the art process be. I'm thinking about what to make my New Year's resolution in terms of art. I always try to do a New Year's resolution for art. I think in the past few years, I always said at least make one piece of art that has some kind of decent effort and background. And I think this year I was able to do that with the Merlin art fan art. I spent a lot of time on the background and tried a lot of resources on CSP. Pretty proud of that one. The Water Spirit also had a lot of backgrounds too that I got to experiment. So yeah, next year I think I'll continue with my at least work and put in effort in at least a few pieces for the background. Maybe another resolution is for art is I guess streaming is one thing. That's another one I was about to say. Hmm. I guess do more like not character focused pieces, the more background ones. Because this year I also made that Ariana the Arzana Diana one with like the night sky. I really like that piece, and that piece also had a lot of really like positive feedback when I like sold it as a print and also like as art sleeves. Yeah, I was surprised that one. I printed a few copies as a poster just to like fill up like table space, but that print actually sold, and I was really surprised because like prints never sell. And that one sold really well. So, and I asked people why they like that piece so much, and they said they liked it because it's more like environmental and like very scenic compared to just being like a character illustration, which like Grand Archives visual art already does amazingly. So, I thought that's really interesting. Dominate the VTuber space one day. One day. Yeah, like I remember back in COVID that when like VTubers started becoming like a really big thing, like all my friends wanted to become VTubers. I actually did make a model for myself and even rigged it. It looked really bad, but I remember I was like, I really wanted to become a VTuber at the time too. But now I just want to see my meow meow move. Tell myself to drop in art. Maybe tell myself to play GA, practice GA. Yeah, I want to do like a unboxing video. I want to like basically like do my personal bucket list. I want to do like the VTuber stuff like at least once. I want to do at least one hand cam unboxing. I want to do at least one collab stream. All right, I guess I already did it with the PBE, but maybe like another one with like one person. I don't know who to do it with though. I want to do a game. Oh, you know what I want to do? So I have a Tunism controller for rhythm games, and I want to try doing a music game stream where I just practice playing rhythm games. I guess I could do a Project Set Guide too. I haven't played in a while, but I really like rhythm games. Get into Creator's Guild unbox benefits. True. True. Why buy boxes but join the Creators Guild? I really want artists to get into the Creators Guild. I wonder if there's any VTubers that got into the Creators Guild. I'm really curious. Like I know there's like a lot of VTubers that are getting more and more active in producing Grand Archive content. It's really cool. So I wonder if there's any in there in the Content Creator Guild already. Love to see one. Yeah, I need people to pester me to apply to the Content Creators Guild. Like if I get rejected, I don't care. If I get in, that's poggers. Yeah. Did Weave Slash ever really solicit people on Creators Guild? I don't think so. Like I know people have been asking for it, at least like maybe like a page on their official website, like an official Content Creators Guild list. But I think that never happened. I know it was just a suggestion. I don't think it was officially announced or anything. I guess like the best thing we know is like ask someone who's already in the guild to tell us who's in there. I know was it someone listed was it the Frostborn Paladin promo on Merlin's Marketplace, and they said it's like 1 out of 9, so maybe it's 9 creatures at the first run? Is that how it works? Yeah, I know there's like was it True Champion got in. I know the Sisters got in. I know there's a few Tinkers. I know Fractal Insight got in. I think Shout at your deck person also got in. I might be wrong on some of these. We literally don't have proof. Yeah, we don't have proof. I want some acknowledgement. Even like a tweet can be fine. It could be better. Like I think that having an official page on the official G8 website is probably like the most ideal. Because it's like it's a lot of work for those people to get into the Creators Guild. And they put a lot of time and a lot of effort. So I wish there's more ways for us to like acknowledge them and like applaud them for their hard work. Yeah, like the fact that I can't name all of them probably just goes to show like there should be like a reference. Because I know people who didn't get in and didn't get spoiler season. Ah, that's interesting. Like people who did get in didn't get spoiler, or people who didn't get in didn't get spoiler. Maybe everyone who got spoiler this season. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I think the spoiler season is a little bit interesting because like the spoiler season concept started before even the content creators became a real thing. So just because you got a spoiler card doesn't necessarily mean you're in the content creators guild, but maybe it's like a step closer. I know that the spoiler videos themselves they don't count towards the actual application because it's like quote unquote like sponsored content by Weaves and that doesn't count. But it's like it is an indication that like those people are like on the way there. People who previously were granted spoiler but did not get one DTR maybe implies creative guilds never got preference in DTR. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I also just like the spoilers are sometimes or not sometimes, but oftentimes catered to that specific person. Like I know was at TM32 they oftentimes get like Diana cards because like Shinja's part of it and Shinja's like that big Diana stan. Yeah. I was thinking like maybe one day we can have like a fan artist get a spoiler card, but I really don't know how they would spoil it. Like I know like some VTubers got um I know some VTubers got a spoiler card in like past seasons like ALC and they did like YouTube shorts, I think. But also like YouTube shorts doesn't have like it's kind of hard to search for it once it goes away. But I wonder if they'll explore that option again with VTubers and maybe artists down the line. Yeah, whatever color I chose, it kind of looks like doo-doo color to say, but it kind of looks cool. I guess I could say it's like muted gold. That's a better way to put it. Community artist supported pack set. Yeah, yeah, yes, I agree. Even like an official fan art contest and the winners get their stuff featured on like a supported pack topper. Something like that would be pretty cool. I know, like, I think Fable is holding like an art contest for GA right now, and I thought about entering in it, but then you need to be in like the Chinese language server, I think, and I don't speak that language. So I'm just like not sure how to apply or how to join that contest. It's kind of hard for me to understand like the logistics of it. I might work on a piece and I might just throw it in there, but I don't know. If someone knows how to submit a piece, let me know. I want to think about it. Are you by chance filtered by top chat? I think Miss all. Wait, did he comment? Oh yes, it is live chat. Holy frick. Hi someone cause I'm for not listening your messages. Thank you for joining. Sorry, I missed your chat. It's gonna be the next token. Yes, this is gonna be the Phantasmagoria token I'm working on. Hopefully I can get it by the next NorCal regional, but we will see. I was drawing stream where you disable layer and jump scare people with the spoiler. Oh. Oh, wait. I like the idea. That's now I figured out that I'm now looking at live chat. I'm like, did I miss anyone? Yeah, thank you, Ferris. How are y'all doing? What were we talking about? Oh yeah, artist support in GA. Yeah. One thing I want Weebs to do is I want them to bring back blank tokens for SB toppers. Like, I really miss the spirit blanks. Like, yes, we can still make spirit blanks by getting like a sand eraser, but like y'all, like the stonks are going up. I think they just need to bring it back. Maybe make it like even like a regional entry thing. Because you know how like people like get the proxy vault packs. Maybe they can like slide in like one random pack or one random like blank topper in there just to get more circulating. Like everyone wants to get the blank token so they can like commission like artists at a sense. And I feel like it's just like really hard to get these days, especially if you're like a new player. And like you look at like the blank spirit tokens and they're like $30 to like $50. I think that's ridiculous. Nah, I want to sell my spirit blanks for $200. Make that bank. I saw someone making or selling blank tokens that they did by erasing. That is so big brain. They're just printing money. And for me, I like regionals when I offer because I only offer alter commissions or blank commissions like at regionals. And I always ask people to bring their blanks, but a lot of people show up being like, I don't have a blank. Do you have one? And I just go like, yeah, I can erase it for you, but give me $5 extra in case I get carpal tunnel. It works, but it's a lot of work. Yeah, speaking of regionals, the NorCal regional is like what, February next year? Late February? I hope it's late February. That way I can have more time to work on stuff. I have some ideas for new stuff I want to make for the next regional, but I have like too many ideas. So the good news is I got all my acrylic tokens in, so I'm done making that. I made a few new like sleeves to sell, so I will try selling that. I want to make keychains again, and like I want to make plush keychains. And there's the menu I use. They have some like character plushy ones, like the Manju ones, were like squiggly nuis. So I was thinking about making like one just to like test it out, but I don't know which character to make. Like the pattern template makes it so that like it's more favorable to make like a short hair character because like long hair it's like a little bit harder to make with that template. So I was thinking of maybe doing like the Merlin 2 with a ponytail and just draw the ponytail on the back. Or maybe I can do a short hair character like Sylvie. I feel like Sylvie is okay, but like there's already an official Sylvie plush and figure, and like I feel like other champions need more love, but I don't know which one to do. Maybe Diana? Diana has short hair. CL is a man. I like CL, but I don't know. I feel like girl characters sell better. Higher demand, you know? Maybe I should just make more Alan merch just for myself. Who do y'all think is like the most popular champion? Like I know like was it Arsana has a lot of popularity. Sylvie is just like the mascot character, and Lorraine's also a mascot character. I know Guoja, there's a lot of Guoja stands with all the Shinju. Daochan has like a lot of diehard fans. Probably, oh yeah, Merlin's definitely super popular. Tristan, yeah, Tristan, yeah. Yeah, I feel like the people who made like Shadow Strike Tristan's like the ride or die. That's really cool. Like for Worlds, the most recent Worlds, I went to SoCal a week before Ascent Worlds happened, and I got to go to one of the SoCal locals, and I got paired into a player from Asia who was also coming in early for Worlds, and they were a hardcore Tristan player, and they had the most expensive Tristan deck I've ever seen. They had the Kaze Spirit first of all, and then they had like Saudis were all CSRs, Penumbral. I don't think they played Penumbrals, but the Tristan's. Oh yeah, the Shadow, the Ominous Shadow token CSRs they use. All the Tristan lineages were also CSRs. They also had the CUR Tristan, I think, the Shadow Reaver. And then they sideboarded the Square Live Resolute stands, like a whole like 3 copies of it, and they just like showed it to me, and I was like, holy frick! I hope that person's getting their surveil CPRs and smoke bombs. And hopefully they can also get new Shadow Strike promo. Sending all the salutes and all the respect to all the Tristan stands that commit to an expensive full glam deck. I really salute your efforts. Yeah, our local Tristan fan questioning himself. Yeah, I think like the first time I tried to like actually because like I'm a collector in the sense that like I like to like get cards I personally like, and the first time that I really wanted to commit to like a high rarity deck was with my Suzaku deck. I didn't care about the rarity in the main deck, but I was like maybe I can do try to get as far as I can with the material deck. So the spirit was just like a personal one that I drew for myself, but the Guoja lineage 1 and 2. Since I play Suzaku, I don't go to level 3. So I got level 1 and 2 CSRs. I got the Tengu foil from Sapphire packs. Like Impact Hammer, that's foil. The I think I had baubles. The bauble ones, I got the FTCA ones. Suzaku obviously is also CSR. Yeah, GCR. I pulled my own GCR foil like way back in FTC season, so I always treasure that one. Yeah, it's nice to like play Goja because like when you level into level 1, you can just like flash your opponent and be like, check out how blingy my material deck is and deal mental damage. But also shows me how much damage my wallet does. I resigned myself to just max rarity material deck because I don't have the money for max rarity main deck yet. I made that big mistake last season with cardistry. So like I swapped from Suzaku to cardistry like halfway through DTR season, and I was like, maybe I can start just blinging some of the cardistry cards out just because, so I can get a little bit more serotonin when I pull into a foil in my starting hand. So, and I also played the Unique Allies version of the cardistry. So I put like Red Hair, March Hair, Arthur, and I own one CSR Arthur, which I treasure too, and one Red Hair CSR, and then I pulled two March Hair CSRs. So I put those in too. I like Blazing Throws. So I put my Blazing Throw, the CPR in there too. And then I started getting foils of the cardistry. So I started with like 2 of hearts, like 3 of spades, 4 of spades is cheap, 2 of spades is cheap. And then I started keep going up and up and up, and then I hit me that I need to get foils of like the Rouge and Noir, so I was like, it's expensive. And I got foils of Duchess and Verita, and then I bought 2 Duchess teams. And then a friend very kindly gifted me a Verita CSR. And then it's getting shiny. It's not full rarity yet, and I don't want it to get full rarity because then I would cry. It's getting increasingly very shiny, very fast. And then so when they announced the Chance CSR during PTM reveal, I was like, oh dear, oh dear. Good news is I pulled my own Chance foil, so that's in my deck now, and I have one Chance CSR in the way. Yeah, so I think I need to tell myself that like I know like in like other games like White Schwartz, you can have like your own baby deck that you always treasure and stuff, just like how people have their Tristan deck that they treasure. I think cardistry is gonna be like that deck that I treasure. Maybe cardistry and Suzaku. Yeah, I think after because like before I got into making like high rarity decks. I did like collecting all the foils for GA. Like I remember back in because I was trying to compete for like FEMA back in like early Path of Silver. So I tried to get as close to a master set as possible for ALC. So I actually own a lot of foils from that set. It spent too much money on that. I spent way too much money on that. And then I was like, I'm not gonna do that again. So I only get foils of cards I really, really like and want to like bling out in my deck that I'm playing. And that helped me a little bit more with budgeting. And then I fell down the rabbit hole quite literally with the cardistry deck. I hope the next deck I play, I don't max already. I'm not gonna max already it. Like at most maybe like something in the material deck, but I'm not gonna do main deck after cardistry. I love that Bojack requires you to show your opponent how shiny your mat deck is. Yeah, I think that's like one of the main reasons why I tried doing the glamming out my Suzaku deck, just because I knew I could shill it and be like, check it out, check it out. I put so much effort in this deck. A good thing about playing water is that most of the foils are pretty cheap. Everything except fracture ice, yeah. I guess like water in general is not too expensive, save for Frostborn Paladin and Fracturize, I think. Maybe I'm forgetting something. I know Lost in Thought used to be a thing, but yeah, I really hope they reprint Fracturize maybe in like RDO with like a new art on it. But yeah, Frostborn Paladin, the OG Frostborn Paladin looks great. and it's also such a strong card. Did I ever say like okay? So I used to play my very first deck in GA was actually a Water Luxem Xander back in like DOA. This is before FTC, so before Fractalize even became a thing. I played Water Luxem Xander, and so I used to play Frostborn Paladin and deck, and then I played it for a while, and then at locals one time. I played against an opponent. I brought out, I played the Floating Memory, and I brought out Frostborn Paladin on enter, banish Floating Memory. I put a buff count on Frostborn Paladin, and I did not know that you actually draw a card. So I was misplaying the Frostborn Paladin for like months until someone told me, like, hey, you know you can draw a card from that. And I was like, wait, this card's busted. I think I have my artists on the deck pretty much all full out. Excellent, congrats. Calming Breeze is going to kill me. Yeah, I did pull one foil Calming Breeze, if I recall correctly. That's a really good card. Looks pretty too. I like the GA cards that like don't have people on it. It like I don't know, the vibes are really cool. Like that's like the one thing I really liked about like TC and DOA, even ALC, where like there's a lot of cards that more are like vibes of like what the effect is than just like having like an anime character. Yeah, I really like the contrast between the two because it looks like you're telling a story when you're playing your deck. You got the Fractalized foils for $5. One of the only benefits of Theme Messages 0. Yeah, yeah. I think you won in that game. Andy's Lux and Xander. Yeah, yeah. Oh, hi Johnny. How you doing? How you doing? Mr. Rainy terrorizes me every week with Luxum. Yeah, Luxum is it's a good element. It's not as fine as Crux. Yeah, like way back when I first played against is it Eva for the first time at locals? She played the Water Lorraine that healed a lot with like Restorative Slash, and that one priest girl that heals, I think. And then I played the Water Luxemzander that also played like a lot of heals. I played like Revitalizing Cleanse. I also played like Luxem Sites. And then my whole thing was to like, and that was like before like I knew about like the Lightweaver Soul Weave tech. I had a really jig Luxem Allies deck. Um, but I used to use Lux Inside for the sake of healing, and even I just kept healing every turn, and neither of us had like the top end damage to kill each other. So like we just kept going until we hit time, and we were still in game one. I remember the good old times. Okay, I can see a decent amount of work being done. If I made this bald, wait, if I made what's this? Wait, this. Yeah. So this is the render layer. What do I do next? This like this. I can do that overlay. And then maybe I should do very rudimentary background. Vibes wise, there. I can do gradient. That was good. And I just put like a moon here. And then new layer. Wet wash. What's this? Trying to figure out which brush to use. When in doubt, I trust the old one. Maybe I can do like trees. I don't think I should own tree brushes somewhere. And it's just a conceptual sketch, if you will. Think of the trees here, and then maybe I could put like birds here. And then I could get like some multiplier layer. Yeah, so like once I'm like mostly done with like the main rendering, then I go into like the vibe stage. So just like trying to figure out how to fill in the rest of the art, basically. Get the ghosties. Softly, no. Is it squash? Point to is that? Ooh, it's tripod, flash. What is brush for? So I do this. And this is how I draw the ghosts. So I just do a little random blob here, and then I get an eraser, and then just like carve out the face. Really? Yeah, this blending one's cool. Yeah, that looks much better. Go back. Do you ever use the clear color settings that eraser CSV? That's exactly what I did just now with the erasing the face. That's the transparent thing that I choose. Like, it's basically like what you do with like Procreate. Because I know when you do like the eraser tool in Procreate, you can choose different brushes, but then I don't like, that's like another thing about Clip Studio that I'm still trying to get used to. Is like, there's like select the erasers I can only choose from. It's kind of limiting. So sometimes I like to just go ahead and use the transparent thing because then it's the same texture, same setting, same brush size. Just makes it easier. This is also not the final, this is the conceptual stage, so I'm not too worried about how it looks. Wow, it suddenly looks like a piece. And then like I can add the thing. Let me erase the Phantasmagories and Mastery doesn't have this. I have a separate file that has all this UI. Yes. Yeah, that looks good. You can see it. Can you see the vision? Oh, okay. Even when I flip the canvas, it doesn't look half bad. I always do this. I always flip the canvas horizontally to see how it looks. And then when you play it, you can put the dice where her hand is, and that's your honk counter. And then, to go back the conversation with when Saber was it Sabers who asked about the brushes I use? Here, let me show you one brush I really like. The one I think I showed you earlier. Is it this one? This one's also good too. I want to make gloomy. Cinema dust. This one. Excuse me. Maybe it takes a second to load. Yes, I did this, and then I do duplicate it. Then make it screen layer type. And then I will go to filter, blur, lens blur. And then I'll play around with the settings. And it looks like it's like glowing a little bit. It's just like particles in the air. Okay, yeah, this is kind of hype. This looks so good. I think I'm pretty satisfied for the day. I wasn't sure how much progress I was gonna get today because yesterday was so productive, but I think I think I'm on a good track. I think tomorrow or whenever I get to this again, I'll work on actually drawing the background. Maybe I'll look for some tree assets in the meantime. And maybe some like spooky night resources on assets. I'll look for those. Maybe I can find like ghosty pens. And then yeah, and then I think I'll also work on make an actual UI for the mastery. Because I know the text box for the mastery is like really, really thick for the Phantasmagoria. So because yeah, like you can see like the Alice, like I didn't really put too much effort in the leg and the dress part, the bottom dress part here. Mainly because like I know the text box is gonna go on there, and if I put too much detail on there, it's kind of a waste because you're not really gonna see it. I also realized I totally forgot to draw her stripy things, and I'll do that next time. Yeah, if I draw stripy things, then I can add a lot more motion. I can cover up a lot of the skirt, and then have people like draw their eyes towards those details. So I don't need to worry too much about the legs and the skirt details. Yeah, and then add more ghosties. I see. Yeah. And then after that, for the menu side, I need to figure out where I put the foiling layer, where I put the don't put foiling layer. And then, oh, I also need to work on the signature too. Maybe I can use the signature to like put indication where you put the counters on. Maybe like do a little swirly. Yeah, the foil signature, I'm thinking of trying a different color this time. Because usually I do gold or like a holographic rainbow gold, but maybe because it's like Phantasmagoria, I can do like blue or purple or even silver. Silver looks good. Foil ghost, you're so right! You're so right for that. Wait, holy frick, yeah, I might actually do that. Yeah, like this is a hypothetical layer, right? We need a hypothetical layer. In Japanese text. Hypothetical sig. So I can go here. That's just really thin. Is it mapping pen? No. Is it the mapping pen? Oh, yeah. Like usually I would do something like that. Interior signature with the ghosties like the CRs, yeah. So that's what I usually do. But for this one, I could do something like I can also bring this ghost up front too, in front of the UI. I don't know how to feel about that. Like a ghosty. Grab. Like yeah, like a rocket ship. Maybe let me try this. Wispy. How do I do this? Voice up the hard drive. It's so right. I can do this. See if I can like just like highlight like one of the major ghosties onto the sig. And this is also still hypothetically I'm gonna put more effort than this. Ah, I see it. I see the vision. And here's more hypothetical. I can duplicate. Where's duplicate? Unit. Filter. Lens flare. Maybe I can make it like if I want to do like a blue sig, I could do like a it'll probably look more like this, and it'll be like reflective blue foil. That would look so good. Wait, this is looking so hype. I wonder if you need something to apply the dice goods in hand. Yeah, I feel like maybe I can direct it with like the dark ghosty silhouette. Like I don't have it. It's not really there right now, but like for example, going back to this, like I can add more of like a circle kind of thing. And it's not like enforcing people to put it there. But yeah, just making it a little bit more obvious, I think. Maybe with the SIG, like it's hard to tell digitally, but like when you print it out and like hold it up in person, like the foil is gonna be like really stand out. And maybe I can make it like a circle or wispy thing to like direct or suggest people to put it there. Yeah, I see it. I see the vision. I see the vision. Yeah, I like the crowd holding up the dice. I like that suggestion. Thank you, thank you. Alright. Okay, okay, okay. I think I see the light at the end of the tunnel for this. It's starting to finally come together. Alright. I think I'll call it here tonight. It's almost midnight where I am, so but yeah. Yeah, thank you for all your feedback and suggestions. Part of me is imagining Alice firing up a hollow purple. Ah. all of the yeah. Yeah, I should check what the mannequin which colors the mannequin offered. If I could do purple, that'll look so sick. If it is like pink, then I could do like the fractured memories foil stick like that. Yeah, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate you hanging out. Thank you so much for also like hanging out for basically the entire stream. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for sticking around. Hopefully, I can finish this up in the next sitting. We'll see how that goes. But yeah. Otherwise, yeah. Thank you for coming by. For any other people who were just chilling by, thank you so much again for just dropping by, chilling with us. Really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks Johnny for coming over too. Good night, good night. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, streaming is really fun. Like it's really chill and I can get a lot of work done, like I always mentioned here. Yeah, I'm down to do it again. But yeah, otherwise, I will see y'all maybe in another stream. Some of y'all are locals, I'll see you at the nearby locals. And otherwise, I'll see y'all in the next one. Right, good night, everyone.